President Barker becomes president in 1891, there was nothing on campus. There were no facilities whatsoever. But in 1892, we built several small facilities, a barn, and a home for the president. President Barker, however, declined to stay in the house. The house was located, it was a wood frame house located where the Saratine Center is now. President Barker lived in Logan County. He had homesteaded in Logan County. His family lived there. He was concerned that if he moved to the home here on campus that had been provided for him, he might have his homestead be in jeopardy because he wasn't residing there. And one of the requirements of having a homestead, you don't actually just get it, you have to make improvements and reside there. So he declined to live in the house designed for the president, so the experimentation director lived in the president's house. And then in 1896, the office of the president then was established, the physical office of the president was established in Old Central. So Old Central wasn't completed until 1896. But when they complete Old Central, the central building, on the first floor, that southwest corner was the office of the president. And by 1906, 1907, all of the support staff and other individuals that were involved with the president's office needed spaces to work too. And so by 1907 in statehood, they just needed more space. Morrill Hall is the last building that was dedicated, at least the groundbreaking during the territorial period. And so beginning about 1907, right as we enter statehood, the president's office moves from Old Central then to Morrill Hall on the second floor. Morrill Hall was considered a very significant facility, one of the largest buildings in the state at that time. And so the administration then moved in and occupied part of the second floor. It used to be in room 211. I'm not sure if room 211 still exists, but 211 Morrill Hall was where the president resided then. From 1907 or so to 1915, we had a fairly significant fire, destroyed or gutted the inside of Morrill Hall in 1915. And so temporarily the office was moved, but then as soon as they restored the facility, the presidents then moved back into the second floor of Morrill Hall, and they were there until we completed construction on Whitehurst Hall. And when Whitehurst Hall was completed about 1926 or so, the president's office moved over to the east side of the first floor. I believe they've been in that same area for much of their time, and so that's been almost 90 years or so that the president's offices have been on the first floor of Whitehurst. Well, except for the presidential offices, there was one room in the library, and we're sitting in it right now. It's now called the Angie room. President Bennett had requested a space away from Whitehurst where he could come and talk with potential donors, with leaders of the Oklahoma legislature, politicians, but a place where he could go and talk to them in quiet without being disturbed, and also have a chance to work with them and build relationships. And so he had designated this space here, it's in the east side of the second floor of the library, as an office away from Whitehurst. It had two entrances, so if he possibly needed to leave quickly, he could go out in one entrance, or if he needed to entertain from one direction, he could have them come in a certain entrance and leave out another entrance. He also had an emergency exit. There's a stairwell right out this one door, and so he could leave quickly if he had to. But it was also a way of bringing people in quietly. But he felt he needed a place where he could work with individuals without the distractions of the rest of the campus. And so the room was specifically designed for him. The challenge, of course, was that the building was, they did the groundbreaking about 1950, 49 or 50. He died in a plane crash in 51 before the building was completed. And so when the building was completed in 1953 and the room became available, they offered the space to President Wilhelm. And he said he really didn't feel like he needed a place like that. And so the room was then turned back over to the library. For a long time, it was used as a part of the library administration. It's one of the library administrative offices, either for the dean or associate deans. But beginning, I believe it was in the 90s, I don't have the exact date, but when this area was turned over to the archives department, this room was designated for the Angie room, or as the Angie room. And so we began moving some of the materials from her collection in here, plus some of the furniture items that we had from the DeBow estate. That collection arrived in 1986, so by 86, 87, we have those materials and then begin moving them in here. And so we have the rocker that she's sitting in one portrait. We have the chair that she used when she was sitting for the portrait of her that's hung in the Capitol the Oklahoma Capitol. So we have some of those items. We have bookshelves and a number of her books. So it's really kind of an homage or honor to Angie and the marvelous things she did.